welcome to Candle Red, and we are in chapter number 7 called Personal Space. Being respectful of someone's personal space is a social skill. I mean, I cannot emphasize this fact enough. They say personal space is usually 6 centimeter. No, when somebody comes too close to you when they talk, oh, besides smelling the bad breath, it is very awkward, especially if the genders are involved. And individuals who do not understand a personal space or invade a personal space are being extremely antisocial or unsocial. It's a social skill to be extremely aware of people's personal space. What is personal space? It is an area around your boundary. It is an area around your body. It's like a boundary between you and people around you. Just give example. Someone have come to you very close to your face. You will feel uncomfortable. Right? Imagine telling somebody make an eye contact and then you look in the eye, you might flinch a little, blink a little. Right? Then the people touch you. It's very important to know some of the best celebrities I've seen. They don't touch females when even the females are running to an actor to take photograph. They keep the hand behind but don't touch them. It's important. Standing close to somebody in a line. So, people push. Oh my goodness. Have you ever traveled in Mumbai trains? Well, there is no sense of personal space. People are pushing you. But there's also a factor. Do not let people abuse your personal space. Right? So basically, the picture is very clear. Public spaces, you meet your strangers, your audiences. Then there's social space. So there is your colleagues, your interactive classmates. Classroom, you have benches where people are to each other. Then there are friends and relatives. You shake hand, you hug each other. You're just close to them. And there's very intimate. You kiss your spouses, your children, your parents. It's your family. You bond with them. Your pets also, by the way. This is a personal space we are talking about. And what's a skill tag? The skill tag we're looking is coping with emotions. People who have poor emotions have a problem using personal space, right? So what are the factors that should affect a personal space? It's the gender. If boys are playing football, which is a very physical sport, well, you will hurt each other, you will pounce on each other, you will push each other. But the moment you have a different gender, it's a problem. Culture. In Arabs, it's okay to kiss on the cheeks, but maybe Germans will never do that. In Japan, they bow down. In India, we bow down. The same thing doesn't happen in United States. It's a different culture, ages. So it's respectful when you greet somebody, you get up and greet, especially when somebody is older than you. Teachers expect people to get up in the classrooms and when they enter, which is depending on regions, colleges, different institutions, their own personal spaces are different. Interpersonal relationship. All right, how do you greet your parents? What do you feel about elders in your family? Sometimes, you get up from your seat just because it is the right thing to do. Then room density. Okay, it's a new word. Room density means how many people are crowded. Let's think of lift as a room density. You can't cram people in a lift beyond a personal space. And sometimes it's very awkward. People talk very loudly in a lift. I will share an experience, a very interesting experience. In Japan, I did a lot of work with Tohoku University. So it is said that nobody talks in a Japanese train. If you talk loudly, and we had a Syrian manager who, as Arab would, they talked, oh, how are you? Greetings, and everybody staring at him. So it's an incorrect thing to do when you talk loud. Even otherwise, people put their mobile phones on speaker and they listen to music in airline. The worst thing a person can do. Please invest in a good earphone if you're doing that way. Personality. Some people are extrovert, some people are introvert. That are the different things. So these are the contexts that happens on a personal space. Let me take you to a beautiful example, and that's a very interesting example, an airline. The proxemics or the concern of autonomy, control, privacy passengers have. I have never seen people fight for the middle seat is the worst seat in the airline because both of the neighbors in passengers, want the space, that the handle of the seats handle. You preferably want a window or an aisle seat. Majority of armrest fighting is there. It's a recliner fighting. People recline the seat so much and the passenger is irritated there. I've had videos on YouTube, and I think it'll be interesting if you find a video on YouTube what to do when somebody reclines the seat. Go ahead, search it. So, what happens when somebody invades your personal space? What do? 5 tips we leave you with and some very interesting conversation. Be kind, right? The more freedom to invade the personal space, and people take it for granted. Number one, Be kind to people, accept that they don't understand. Slowly show this chapter to them, maybe. That's very important. Look around you. Be respectful. It is said that people go for pilgrimage. When you throw a towel behind, be very careful. It should not hurt somebody's eyes. So there is no easy escape, but look around and then choose your personal space. Confront if you want, but politely. Confrontation could be when find ways to distract them or excuse yourself from a lift. It's overcrowded. It's okay to walk up or walk down. I find it very strange when people take lift for first floors. I mean, why would you take a lift for one floor up, one floor down? Of course, these are very interesting pointers. Sniff but don't smoke. Sensory things are very important. So, people with bad socks is something I hate. Talking too loudly in public spaces, asking personal questions. That's the credit card company people who call you, or people who call you for loans or housing things. I hate them because they're asking too many unnecessary personal questions. Learn to use body language. Sensitize yourself. Is person too close? Is the person uncomfortable? If you overstep something, step back. I hope you are someone who will create great personal spaces given this opportunity that you've got. So in public, the personal space is greater than 12 feet. Social is 4 feet, right? 12 feet. Intimate space is less than 1.5 feet. And I said very close is 6 centimeters. I love these three quick activities we'll do around personal spaces and you can divide them accordingly. Number one, would you rather? It's a game, like truth in there. It's a game of choices, and personal space is so much about choices. It's a game that even children who are quiet can become a chatterbox. I was recently traveling and I found one of my niece who could not talk to anybody. And I find it very, very conscious decision, but maybe there are opportunities that she does not have to interact. So here are some sport related questions, and you can choose. I will give you options after this. So, example, would you prefer burning your mouth with boiling milk or freezing with the ice cream? I think most of us will opt for a freezing thing, unless you have got some real good sensation there. Would you eat an ice cream or a chocolate? Would you drink milk or orange juice? So these are questions you can have real fun around it. Eating raw onion or raw meat, or well, vegans, I think we can avoid both of them. But now why don't you create 10 questions around traveling? Okay, simple question. Would you like to travel to the mountains or the beaches? Would you like to travel by bus or your private car? So that would be one thing about traveling. Why don't you speak about schools? 10 questions. Would you like to study math or would you like to study science? Around what questions you have. And finally, on devices, you can have questions around devices. Question number two is thumbs up and these are picks up a news from the newspaper and conveys it either correct, truthfully, or misleading way. The other people have to quickly look at the newspaper, verify the facts, and give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. So it means, are you listening carefully? Today, the news media is the fakest news media you can hear. People glorify, exaggerate. I get questions in Mumbai rains. People know all over. Are you safe? Yes, we are safe. Stop watching the news. And this has happened across. Anyway, you go to a different city and it will give you a gloated, exaggerated version of news. Remember, you can bring same newspaper. Three, it is a way to fact check the newspaper. Also, to make it more interesting, somebody can say, okay, I'm taking sports section, and everybody is reading the sports section. But how do you put an information becomes very, very important. Also, another variation of this particular game is you can say a news which is thumbs up or thumbs down. So some news you may like it, some news you don't like it. So you then give a thumbs up or thumbs down of that particular news. For example, in Australia, one of the newspapers says it's banned to have any negative news or bad news on the front page. So they want you to pick up your newspaper and your morning day with a smile, not with a hurtful negative news. Finally, let's play a physical game. Personal space is physical. So draw a sheet big sheet of paper, draw a circle. Remember the intimate circle is 1.5 feet, the personal space is 4 feet, and there's social space outside. Put that paper on the floor and start taking role plays along the people. Okay, everybody into the public space, so they move there. And then you start making 5 places which are public: parks, gardens, libraries, right? Malls. Then you say social space. Maybe public space could be a mall, but social space, theater is a social space, right? Airline travel mode is a social space. So you start giving them these examples. Then you can say another social space could be a school lab. Well, it's not public, it's still private. It could be a place of worship, right? It's a social space. So you need to go make sure your breath is nice. Harbhajan Singh, one of India's cricketer, was detained in New Zealand airport because his socks were smelling. Wow. What about a restaurant and a cafe? It's a social space. So you quickly make a note of that, and people have to move in and out of which space they think it is. Finally, it's personal space. Personal space could be somebody's home. It could be a car. So you're traveling in a car. You can't just. I've seen people they snore in people's car, which is so unfair and unhappy. Space, personal space, like these examples could be you just even walking together. Even people who are playing a game in close proximity, let's say a badminton court, could be called a personal space. You could be in your own bedroom. That's a personal space. You could be in somebody's office. That's a personal space. And finally, it's an intimate space, which is simple. With intimate space is people. So, your pets, your family, your spouse, your parents, all the people in any place, it could be an intimate space. So have fun playing this physical game and let us know what did you discover about your friends and yourself. All the best. Good luck.